Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. Really excited for today's video. It's Tuesday, and Tuesdays I try to test my palate, and there's no better way to do that than a mystery beer. So thank you, Steven, so much for sending this. Really appreciate it, as you know. All right, so I'm wondering if there's any clues on this. Migraine medicine, Excedrin. Maybe this is a high alcohol beer, and he's trying to give me a warning that I might need some Excedrin for tomorrow. The word well is circled. Maybe it's a well water brewed beer. Or maybe he just randomly found newspaper and enveloped the can in it. Let's find out. It's like so like in the routine of it. It's like I'm looking at the can. What's the label to face out? The smoke beer? Yep. Yeah, I can smell that for sure. Yeah, it's a smoky smelling beer for sure. Yeah, so he did send me, and I said it in the unboxing video, I don't know how to pronounce that, but he did send me a Rausch beer, and I don't know if this is the same brewer or not, but it's got that smell for sure. It's not the most intense smoke that I've had. That one that I had recently that was a collab with Fidens and Wayward Lane Brewing. That one, if I'm remembering correctly, had a more intense smell of the smoke, and then in the sip, it wasn't nearly as intense as the aroma led you to believe. This one, if memory serves, is a little less intense. Beyond the smoke, slight brown bread. The teeniest amount of cocoa powder. But yeah, it's like a smoky brown bread kind of a thing. You know, the whole point of mystery beer is trying to figure out, things like ABV style, stuff like that. But yeah, so it's got that brownish color with a lot of red in there. Beautiful looking beer. I mean, look at the head retention and everything. Just a beautiful looking beer. All right, let's see about the taste. Cheers. Thanks again, Steven. Hope you're doing well. Super tasty right off the bat. So whatever this is, really nice. Like I was saying about that other smoked beer, it's not as intense in the taste as it was in the aroma. And yeah, I mean, it's there. It's really interesting how it can be so intense one way and not the other. Unmistakably there. Even if I had I know aroma, like sense of smell and taste are linked, but like if I had lost my sense of smell and could only taste things, like you can taste the smoke for sure. A nice slight earthy element with that brown bread that I got in the aroma. Didn't get the earthiness in the aroma. A little bit of a there's like something that I associate with baking or baked goods. Like maybe some rye, almost like a rye bread. I think this is super low ABV. 4.5 probably. Slight fruity character, which is nice. Almost like a cherry wood smoked kind of a thing. This is super tasty. The more I sip it, the more like nuanced and complex the flavors are. There's some sweetness to it. Somewhat generically sweet, and then somewhat a very light caramelization sweetness. I'm gonna do one more sip before I unveil it, but I think it's just a 4.5 smoked beer. I don't know if it's a Rausch beer specifically. It's probably not anything like a smoked porter. Doesn't look like a smoked stout, like nothing like that. I think it's probably in that Rausch beer realm. And I don't think there's any adjuncts. I don't know, but it is super good. Again, just right off the rip. All right, so 4.5 Rausch beer. No adjuncts. All right, so it looks like it is that same brewery. Oh, interesting. Okay. So it's a Marzen, which could help explain some of the complexity to it. Whatever. You go over there. Tape sticking to me. All right. Schlenkerla. Sure. Number 1. The historic smoked beer brewery. Let's see. Marzen Smoked Beer. Considered a classic example in its category. Has brewed for centuries in the Berku town of Bavaria. Oh my God. Bamberg in Franconia, Bavaria, Germany. Following the most ancient malting traditions, all its select barley malts are kilned over a fire of beechwood logs at the Schlenkerla maltings. Brewed in classic copper vessels and matured in months. Well, sorry. I was trying to wait till I got off camera to scratch my nose, but it's clearly distracting me too much. Copper vessels and matured for months in 14th century cellars. Acht Schlenkerla Rauchbier is a truly unique smoky beer experience. It's one of the last traditionally made smoked beers. Is a passion in the arc of taste by Slow Food. Anyway, I swear to God I can read English. Having a mix of German sounding things, and my great grandfather must be rolling in his grave because he came from Germany before the Nazis. And I hope saying that doesn't trigger the algorithm. 5.1% ABV. Let's get to that. So I was low on the ABV, nailed the Rauch beer. I mean, A-, I don't know. But also like a relatively easy one. But like I knew there wasn't any adjuncts or anything, so like that's cool. So of the ones I've done in the span of the channel, one of the easier ones just because the smoke helps give it away. But I knew it wasn't like a smoked porter or smoked stout. So, some ways did well that way. Some ways, it was helpful because of the smoke presence. About 0.5% off ABV. I usually suck at ABV. Drinking some higher ABV beers and regular rotation doesn't help anything. Kind of skews my thoughts on that. But yeah, I'd say A-. But what do you guys say? Grade me in the description or in the comment section below. But add other words. It helps the algorithm. Steven, thanks again, man. I really appreciate it. Have you guys had this one before? How do you think I did? Anything, everything. Just shout out to how awesome Steven is. Anything, everything. Comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.